Hi there. I'm Michael McVety, president of Red Fortress Property Management, and want to spend some time today talking with you about the company and a bit of how I got involved in property management. I've been a property manager for over 25 years, a landlord in Southwest Florida also for the last 25 years. And very often people say, well, what was your journey like to be in this industry for that long? And let's be honest, most people at a young age don't look at themselves and say, I can't wait to be older and a property manager when I grow up. So for me, the journey began a little bit with my father. He was living up north and he wanted to come, oddly enough, to Southwest Florida because of the weather. He had vacation here. And he said at one point, I really want to develop wealth through real estate, basically the American dream. And so he came here in the 1980s and he started to invest in real estate. And over time, he started to become a property manager for others. And this is back in the 1980s when, again, things were not, you know, it was not a thought of property management. Property management was not really developed or cool, even, or a profession at that time. So over time, my father began to build a business and he understood that education in that industry was very, very important. And so what he did was he actually helped found a national organization that's still in existence today. It was in the early 1990s. It was called NARPM, the National Association of Residential Property Managers. So he and a whole bunch of other people, around 100 people, got together and founded this property management group purely for the education of property managers. So that is a little bit of when I started to enter into it, because after a couple of years of NARPM being formed, I started to help my father with the business after teaching a couple of years in school. So I started out as a property manager, and like him, I knew that there was more. I wanted to learn more about the profession. So I started to volunteer back in the 1990s at the local level. And then after a couple of years, I went on to the state level, where I became president of Florida Property Managers back in 2005. And I've continued on either at the local level or the national level or even the state level since then. So I've basically been active for almost 30 years at the local, state, and or national level. And so even after like 25 years, I'm still passionate about the profession. And so people ask me why. And honestly, I think there's three main reasons. First of all, I just like learning. I like learning about property management, business, anything that I can get my hands on and learn. I'm just one of those avid people that likes to learn about a great many things. Second of all, I would have to say that one of the reasons why I continue to do what I do is to help my peers. So, like this year, for instance, I'm going to be helping out several local chapters, including my own, being on an expert panel, giving talks about rental analysis and what's happening in our market. And I'll even be talking at the state conference in September in Florida for property managers. So I like to give back to my peers because I've had a great experience with so many different property managers all over Florida, as well as all over the nation, honestly, over the last 20 plus years. And it's a way of giving back and making a contribution to my profession, which I take, obviously, I guess, pretty seriously. And the third reason would certainly be our clients. You know, when we become a property manager, sometimes we lose sight of the fact that our clients they're making a substantial financial investment, and this is maybe for their retirement, it's for financial wealth or stability, and it's really property management. Honestly, is a tough profession. There's a lot of things that are going on and moving parts and ways that things can go wrong, quite frankly. And so I always look at my contribution to the industry and learning as helping out our clients. But to be perfectly honest with you, I want our clients to have a great experience. It's sometimes difficult when people don't do what they're supposed to do, but that's part of the reason why we're property managers in the first place. So those are kind of some of the reasons why I continue to do what I do. But there's also a final reason, and to be honest with you, it's a little bit more of a kind of negative one. But to be honest with you, our industry deserves to be better. And there are so many people that say that, oh, I'm a property manager, and really they aren't. They're not my peer. There are a lot of people that do property management full time that I consider my peers in the area and around Florida, but there's so many property managers say that they're doing property management. They're not even doing anything close to what we do here at Red Fortress and other places that are professional. So one out of every two calls literally that I get for people saying, hey, Michael, can you look into managing our property? They already have a current real estate agent or property manager. And to me, That's just mind blowing. It means that our profession, property management, needs to get better to help these clients because I don't want to hear more stories about people losing thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars because a sales agent or another property manager, so to speak, wasn't focused on it. Like I said, property management is very, very difficult. You have to be focused. You have to know what you're doing. And even then, bad stuff is going to happen. So anyways, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of background into me, the company's founder, my father, John. And if I can help you guys legitimately in any way, I'd love to. In fact, the other day somebody called me up and not somebody I knew, and they said, "Hey, Michael, I hear that you do a lot of rental analysis." And I said, "Well, that's true." And they said, "Yeah, and I'm living in an apartment community and wasn't sure what I should do, whether I should renew the lease or not." And this is a person I don't know. I don't even know what apartment community they were in. And so I help people out in any way I can. So if I can help you out with your real estate questions or investments, I'd be happy to. There's a email or login or telephone number or something like that down at the bottom of the screen. So whatever I can do to help. So take care. Appreciate your time and look forward to talking with you if you need assistance. Have a great day.